Hello and welcome to today's video where I continue my MSI 2022 preview. Third video of the day. Sorry for the spam, but I have a lot that I want to go over. So this video, we're going over the junglers at MSI. I'm going over my rankings. Obviously, if you haven't followed along with the 2022 preview where I went through each team, I've already indicated where everybody was ranked. However, somebody did suggest, hey, you should make a video going over the top champions that these players played, and I figured why not do that and rank them. So, show my rankings. So, yesterday a lot of people had something to say about Broken Blade and Impact, and that was close. That was a close call, and I had Impact above Broken Blade. I plan on making a video about that separately after this one. If you didn't watch the other two videos today, I went over this already, but I intend on looking at how they fared against each other in the LCS last year or even the year before. I really haven't looked too closely at it yet, and just see how they fared against each other because they're both on playoff teams. But junglers. So Owner, I clearly have number one. Owner is disgusting. I really think he is the best jungler at this tournament. He can farm well. He can make plays. His Lee Sin is an auto ban. He played Lee Sin, Xin Zhao Viego. That's going to be a common trend amongst these players. They were the meta champions, and if you didn't watch my cumulative spring split most common champions video, you'll be surprised to find that Xin Zhao is listed on everyone's boards, despite Xin Zhao not being in the meta that much anymore. And it's because he was really damn common to start. So, Lee Sin, Xin Zhao Viego, a couple carries in there, and a tankier option, bruiser option. I have Inspired above Jankos. This is going to be a hot take. People don't like that I had EG above G2 before, but let's look at it this way. Inspired was the MVP last year for Rogue over Jankos and G2. G2 is better than last year, but I would argue that EG is pretty damn good, and Inspired isn't even cracking his full potential with the team right now. I believe that he is adapting and doing more than just out farming the other jungler and then playing for late game. His Jarvan is very, very good. Him, Inspired, and Jankos have the same champion pools too when it comes to most played champions. Pretty much straight up, except that Inspired didn't play the Viego as much as the Lee Sin, whereas Jankos played them equally as much. And in the end, you have to look at it like this. Inspired outfarms Jankos, at least straight up. So I like Inspired over Jankos right now. Going into this event, I feel like Jankos is going to have to help bot lane, like I said in my G2 video earlier today, whereas Inspired, I think, is going to have to go mid and help JoJo. Fourth place is Wei. People are going to think, oh, that's pretty crazy that you have him fourth. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Wei. I think Wei holds back RNG, in my opinion, and spice it up. He has a Volibear in his top three, doesn't have Lee Sin. I think that, he's more of a tankier, go with the flow kind of jungler, a ganker, not a farmer. And with that, I think that he's a little more limited in what he can do for his team. So I have Wei fourth. And then when we get to the smaller regions, Kevy, I think Kevy looks really good. I liked Kevy's stats. I didn't watch any of the smaller regions play, so in the end, this is all off of stats alone. He played Diana a lot. I think he's the only person with Diana listed, yes. And he played Diana more than any other champion. Maybe the Diana's on the table for them. And, with Kevy and Kissy in mid, maybe they have Diana Yasuo in their toolkit where other teams do not. Ferret for Istanbul Wildcats and Aegis are actually tied. I don't have it here tied, but they're tied. Xin Zhao Viego Lee Sin, very standard for Ferret. Aegis, Jarvan, Xin Zhao Hecarim, very standard. Both are standard players. Ferret not being as quite of a ganker as Aegis. Aegis focusing on the J4, being a heavy ganking jungler, making things happen, where Ferret is more of a Viego Lee Sin type player. Eighth place is Steele. This was the most interesting player on the board when I looked closer at his champion pool. This is where Detonation Focus Me can get freaky and make a difference. Like I said yesterday, when a team has interesting picks, like Hosmid playing Vayne 5 times, all of a sudden you have something that other teams do not have as an option. And I think as a smaller region, you have to do that. You have to take advantage of that. Steele, Hecarim, very standard. But he played the Poppy. He played the Poppy probably more than anybody else on this board. I mean, he did play it more than anyone else on this board. And maybe even more than everyone else combined. His Poppy, he played often. I would look at Poppy being a pick for Detonation Focus Me. If I'm an opponent, I'd be worried about that because I'm not really used to playing against it. Obviously, everyone knows how to play against a Poppy, but Poppy was buffed. Going into MSI, maybe it becomes a pick, and Steele has an advantage over everyone else with the champion. He also plays Nocturne more than anybody else. Nocturne is in Inspired's toolkit, but he didn't play it as much as Steele does. Bean J plays Volibear, similar to Wei. That gives him an option where other players really don't lean on the Volibear as much. Dimitri apparently, from what I understand, is pretty damn good, at least in Latin America. We'll see how he compares to everybody else. They do say that, he's coached by the same person that coached Jose Dioto. Jose Dioto was pretty damn good and got into the LCS as a result by his international play. So hopefully Dimitri surprises people and performs very well at this tournament. There is a lot here that can be made up. The gap between Kevy and 11th isn't massive. So I think a young jungler like Dimitri has potential to show up and really make a difference. He's the only one with Trundle listed in his top 3. He played a lot of Trundle compared to everyone else. It's more of a champion he leans on than what other people are doing. Other people are more so playing the Volibear. We have a couple Volibears. Volibear is countered by Trundle, so Dimitri plays the Trundle into the Volibear, where other players may not do that. Yuhan is last for PSG Talon. This is not your father's PSG. There is no River. There's no Kong Yu. So, we'll see what PSG can do with Yuhan making his debut internationally. I obviously don't have a lot of faith in him, but, he could surprise because PSG is a damn good team. There's no doubt about it. The PCS is a solid region, probably the 5th best region in the world, behind the Big 4. He plays with Viego, Hecarim, Lee Sin. Common traits, common champions. He doesn't have the Xin Chao in the top 3, but it's always 3 of those 4 that are in most of these players' most played champions. So, honest to God, I really feel like Steele is the one to watch. If Steele can play Poppy or Nocturne in a couple of these games, maybe he can steal a game off of whoever they play. I don't know if they play T1 or RNG. I don't think they'll steal a game off of them, but maybe they can definitely take advantage of the teams that are at their level in such a way and get into the second round of MSI. I think that that's definitely feasible for them, taking advantage of this champion gap they may have in jungle. So that's that for my jungle rankings. Comment down below if you have any opinions of your own. I'm sure people will have them. What do you think about these champion pools? Do you think that we might see some Poppy and Nocturne because it is in a player's champion pool? Or do you think it's just kind of like whatever, people aren't going to play it and we're just going to go with the standard Lee Sin, Hecarim, Viego, and Xin Zhao related compositions? So subscribe to the channel if you want daily content. I'm going to upload another video today or tomorrow, hopefully, in regards to Broken Blade and Impact. And in addition to what I'm going to do tomorrow anyways, which will be the mid rankings, as well as my EG preview. So those will be up tomorrow for sure. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for more content.